Hiya there, welcome to Off the Cuff Reviews with me, Jules Brown. Today I'm going to be reviewing an album called It's Our Thing by the Isley Brothers back there. That's my edition back there. This album came out in April 1969. My copy is the UK edition. The album came out on the Isley Brothers' own label, which was called T-Net Records. They set up themselves. My edition is Major Minor Records, which is like the UK imprint of it. The Isleys did two albums in 1969. This album came out in April, and only a matter of months later they released an album called The Brothers Isley, which was as equally fat and funky. Both great albums. There is one track actually which features on both albums, and it's the same version, I believe, of the same song. So they'd just left Motown Records and, as I say, set up their own record label, and they wanted to do something of their own. They wanted to do their own thing, and they did this album. It's a very good album, I must admit. I'll go into that in the future. But it's an interesting one because the instrumentation on the album, we don't really know who plays guitar, for instance, on the album. We don't really know who plays drums on the album. We just have this vague message or vague description that the instrumentation was done by numerous New York City musicians. So even though the younger brothers, who weren't actually in the band at the time, Marvin and Ernie, get a credit for playing bass and guitar on this record, I don't really think they play all the bass and all the guitar. It'd be good to know who plays those amazing guitar riffs and who plays the drums on this album. So let me know. The secret's got to be out there somewhere. So, as I say, 1969, engineered by Tony May. That's all we have, really. The songs are written by Kelly Rudolph and Ronald Isley, who were the Isley brothers at the time, the three main guys. Side one starts off with I Know Who You've Been Sucking It To. Starts off really well, fantastic raw sound, amazing powerful lead vocal from Ronald, incendiary snare drum sound, great groovy bass line, driving piano, brilliant brass, powerful fat sounding slabs of brass, slab of funk, if you will, kind of in the vein of James Brown and Sly Stone, but I think it's got its own identity as well. Always these funky guitar lines, which, brilliant. So that's the first track. Second track on side one, Somebody Been Messing. Indeed. Yeah. Double time snare, fast grooved out Motown feel, but with a thicker, fatter sound. Huge brass, fantastic snare drum sound again, fantastic horns. You're messing with my thing, fellas, get your own thing. Brilliant. Track number 3, Save Me. This is a slower number with a bit more space in it, but it's underscored, bubbling, funky guitar line, lovely lead vocal, and a yearning lead vocal. Save Me, classic backing vocals. Just a great track with this, as I say, this underscored with this lovely guitar line. Track number 4, I Must Be Losing My Touch. This is another kind of big Motown-y feel. Thick texture, busy brass. It's a short track, but it's a nice groovy track. Track number 5, this is a bit more laid back, and is on both albums. This is on their other 1969 album, The Brothers Isley, as well. I think it's the same version of the same song. It's a leisurely beauty of a song. It is bubbly, funky guitar line in the background, piano and horns. Feels like the world closing in on me. But sort of feeling of paranoia and being closed in. You just have to sit back and admire this one. Really, I'm in bad shape since you've been gone. Been at the window crying all night long. So it's a lovely track. Is feel like the world, and that ends side one. Side two starts up with kind of the title track, but it's not. It's our thing. It's called "It's Your Thing," and it's possibly the grooviest thing out there. This amazing choppy guitar. Bear in mind, this is 1969. Fantastic choppy guitar riff, which leads into this virtuoso bit of guitar playing. Superb at the bridge. And soul manny brass in the style of Soul Man, the song, the Sam and Dave song. That's in the second bridge. As tight as hell, as fat and funky as you can get. And of course, a great lead vocal by Ronald. Track number 2 on side 2, give the women what they want. Indeed. More of the same, really. Busy, funky guitar licks, sort of James Brown sounding brass. Not much more, just fantastic stuff. Track number 3 on side 2, Love Is What You Make It. This is probably the only kind of cheesy number on there. It's still okay. It's a slower number. Exceptional musicianship as usual. I could imagine that maybe Was Not Was covering this in about 1988, around that sort of time, as that sort of feel to it. Track number 4 on side 2, back to the usual, Don't Give It Away. Back to the groove farm, indeed. Busy, funky bass line, cool, spiky guitar, nimble drums, complicated drum rhythm. Really funky. You don't realize how funky it is because it sounds so effortless. Great vocal performance. Just sounds so easy, and yet it's it's just exceptional musicianship. And the last song on the album is called He's Got Your Love. Again, starts off with this fab guitar riff and hi-hat drums. Gets it going, and the guitar is kind of mostly in one channel throughout the whole song. Kind of 1969 stereo kind of, they did that, didn't they? Tremendous brass, cool riff, continues through most of the song, this guitar riff. It's a short, but it's a beauty. And that ends the album. And this period of the Isley Brothers really isn't really talked about very much, is there? Everybody talks about Harvest for the World and that sort of 1972, 73, 74, Summer Breeze, that sort of stuff. This stuff is funkier than that, and I think should get more acclaim than it does. So I'm going to give this album, I think it's got to be close to a 9 out of 10, really. Maybe that Love Is What You Make It brings it down a bit. So I would mark it somewhere between 8 3/4 and 9 out of 10, definitely. Definitely worth you listening to this one if you don't know it. And as I say, fantastic musicianship, really well produced, great album. And that's it. Thank you for listening. I'm Jules Brown. You've been listening to Off the Cuff Reviews. If you want to subscribe, then do so, please, by pressing the subscribe button and making any comments, and that would be great. And I hope you've enjoyed the review, and I'll be up soon with another one. I'm not going to do too many more before Christmas, so this could be one of the last ones I do before the end of the year. Who knows? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and check out my other reviews if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you very much for listening. Signing off, and have a good evening, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be.